Welcome back. Today we explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today we're diving into the world of Washington quarter dollar coins that could potentially make you a millionaire. First up, the United States silver Washington quarter dollar of 1998, with a P mint mark, represents a particular moment in American coinage history. This coin, while seemingly just another regular circulation piece, has attracted significant attention due to its rarity and the condition in which some specimens have been discovered. It's important to remember that the Washington quarter, a staple of U.S. currency since 1932, has evolved in design, composition, and minting techniques over the years. The Washington quarter dollar was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Since then, it has been minted in various forms, from silver to copper-nickel clad. By 1998, the composition had switched to a copper-nickel blend with no more silver content, following the Coinage Act of 1965. The 1998 Washington quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint with the P mint mark, which was a part of a larger minting initiative across all denominations. The 1998 Washington quarters were produced in large numbers as the U.S. Mint was continuing to meet the demands of circulation. The total mintage of the 1998 Washington quarter at the Philadelphia Mint was over 1 billion, making it one of the highest minted quarters in history. However, this doesn't mean that every coin from this year is common in value. It's the coins with rare characteristics, errors, and special conditions that catch the attention of collectors. The reverse showcases a heraldic eagle, its wings spread wide, clutching an olive branch and arrows. Above the eagle is the inscription, United States of America and quarter dollar. The reverse design has undergone changes in the past, particularly with the 50-state quarters program, but for the 1998 coin, it's the traditional Washington motif. Now, here's where things get particularly interesting. You might be wondering why a coin in full damage or pressed condition could be valuable. Ordinarily, damaged coins are worth less than their undamaged counterparts, but in certain cases, coins that show unique damage or pressing errors can be worth more, depending on the rarity and the nature of the damage. In this case, the 1998 Washington quarter with the P mint mark is considered full damage because it has sustained significant wear or has been improperly struck during the minting process. This could mean anything from being pressed off-center, having die cracks, or being exposed to extreme conditions that cause dents or abrasions. While this might seem counterintuitive, these types of errors can result in a higher price at auction due to their scarcity. The key to the value of these coins is their uniqueness. A quarter that has been heavily damaged but still holds clear evidence of its original design could be worth a premium for collectors who specialize in error coins or those looking for rare examples of flawed minting. While the 1998 Washington quarter with the P mint mark is not a high-value coin in mint condition, the market value can skyrocket if the coin has unusual or unique damage. Coins in full damage or pressed conditions have gained popularity due to the growing interest in error coins. This means that, despite the high mintage, certain specimens are fetching prices ranging from $11,000 or more at auctions, depending on the extent of the damage and the collector demand. The fact that such damaged coins are still recognizable as part of the U.S. Mint's production adds to their intrigue and marketability. The allure of this 1998 Washington quarter lies not just in its damage, but in the rarity of such a coin being discovered in circulation. Coins that show errors or damage due to minting mistakes are highly sought after by collectors who specialize in flawed coinage. These coins tell a unique story, and their imperfections make them fascinating pieces in the context of U.S. coin history. Collectors often look for coins with specific types of errors or damage, and they actively bid for these items in auction houses and through private sales. The 1998 Washington quarter in full damage or pressed condition has a strong appeal within this niche market. Collectors who focus on era coins are always on the lookout for new finds, and a well-preserved damaged quarter could easily fetch a higher price than its standard counterpart. Next up, the 1968 Washington quarter dollar with a D mint mark is one of the most iconic coins of the late 1960s. Struck in 1968, it marks a period of transition in U.S. coinage. During this time, the country was grappling with inflation, the Vietnam War, and significant political and social changes, all of which influenced the design, production, and circulation of U.S. currency. The 1968 Washington quarters was produced as part of the regular circulation coinage for that year. At the time, the U.S. Mint struck millions of these quarters at both the Denver and Philadelphia mints. The Denver Mint produced around 73 million of the 1968 quarters, each bearing the D mint mark. Despite the large mintage, these coins are still highly collectible, particularly in certain conditions or with unique features. One key to understanding the appeal of the 1968 quarter is the fact that the U.S. Mint was in the process of phasing out silver content from its coins, following the Coinage Act of 1965. While the Washington quarters minted before 1965 were composed of 90% silver, those struck after 1965 were made of a copper-nickel clad composition. The 1968 quarters are thus not made of silver, which makes them significantly less valuable in terms of intrinsic metal content. However, their historical importance and their role in the larger context of U.S. coinage continue to make them desirable among collectors. Like the 1998 quarter, the 1968 Washington quarter features the classic design by John Flanagan, which has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1932. The obverse shows a portrait of George Washington, while the reverse displays an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. The 1968 large date variant, as opposed to a smaller date version, stands out because of the larger numbers in the year. This design element was slightly different from the previous years, which might be why it stands out to collectors today. The large date feature is a notable characteristic of this coin, though not considered an error by itself. It is still a distinguishing factor that affects how collectors view the coin in the context of the broader series. The most striking feature of this particular 1968 quarter is its black color and dirty condition. Over time, coins exposed to environmental factors such as dirt, chemicals, and air pollution can take on discolorations that affect their aesthetic. For this coin, the black coloration may be due to corrosion or tarnishing caused by the coin's exposure to harsh conditions. While many collectors prefer coins in pristine or near-pristine condition, others are drawn to the unique appearance of a coin that has been aged or weathered, as it adds to the story and history of the coin. In fact, dirty or aged coins can sometimes be valued higher than those in perfect condition, particularly if the tarnishing or discoloration is an unusual or rare occurrence. A blackened or tarnished 1968 Washington quarter may be the result of environmental exposure that is unusual enough to attract collectors who are interested in coins with a history and visible wear. Despite being a relatively common coin in terms of mintage, the 1968 Washington quarter with a D mint mark in dirty or blackened condition can still fetch a respectable price at auction. The market for such coins depends on the unique appeal of their visual appearance and the rarity of the specific condition they're in. A dirty 1968 quarter might sell for anywhere between $123,000 or more, depending on its level of discoloration and the interest it attracts from collectors. Much like the 1998 quarter, the 1968 Washington quarter with a blackened appearance has a particular appeal to those who collect coins with unique conditions or characteristics. While not an error coin in the traditional sense, coins that have taken on unusual colors or damage can pique the interest of collectors who enjoy the stories behind such pieces. Moreover, the 1968 quarter's status as a large date coin adds to its desirability. Next up, the 1966 silver Washington quarter represents an interesting period in U.S. coinage. By the mid-1960s, the United States was transitioning away from using silver in many of its coinage, especially quarters. The silver Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington, in celebration of the bicentennial of his birth. This coin became a staple of U.S. currency and has continued to be one of the most recognizable U.S. coins to date. The 1966 coin falls into a unique category for collectors. While quarters minted before 1965 contained 90% silver, from 1965 onward, the United States began reducing the silver content in many of its coins, including the quarter, in favor of a clad composition copper-nickel. This change was a direct response to rising silver prices and a shortage of the precious metal. However, the 1966 Washington quarter still contained 40% silver, thanks to a unique exception made for the coinage used for mint sets and certain proof coins. The 1966 large-date Washington quarter was part of a mintage that marked the end of the era of coins made with substantial silver content. For collectors, it represents a transitional period, a shift from silver to clad, which makes it particularly interesting. The reverse side showcases a majestic eagle perched on a branch with its wings spread out. Above the eagle is the inscription United States of America, and below it E pluribus unum and $2. The eagle's posture and the symbols of strength and unity on the coin represent the ideals of the United States at the time it was minted. The 1966 coin is known for its large date variety, where the numbers of the year are notably larger than those on other years, especially in comparison to the previous years. The large date variety makes it a significant collector's item, as it differs from the typical design of the era. The mintage of the 1966 Washington quarter is important to understand its rarity and market value. The 1966 coins were minted at two facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. However, a key distinguishing feature of the 1966 Washington quarter is that it was minted without a mint mark in Philadelphia, which means that the majority of these coins were produced without indicating where they were minted. Despite the large number of 1966 Washington quarters being produced, the 1966 large date without mint mark has become a sought-eater coin, especially in circulated condition. Its rarity, along with its relatively low market availability, contributes to its high collector demand. Coins in circulated condition, while not as rare as their uncirculated counterparts, still hold considerable value due to the historical significance and the continued interest in Washington quarters. In the auction market, these coins can fetch a variety of prices, depending on their grade and overall condition. The 1966 Washington quarter in circulated condition can range anywhere from $69,400, depending on the quality and collector demand. However, higher-end specimens, such as those in fine or very fine condition, can demand more. Rare specimens with the original luster or any special features such as significant errors could attract prices on the higher end of the spectrum, especially among seasoned collectors and investors. The 1966 silver Washington quarter holds substantial value in the current market, especially when it comes to collectors who appreciate its place in history and its transition from silver to clad coins. Many collectors are drawn to the large date variety as it marks a unique design change for the era. What makes this coin even more valuable is the collector interest in Washington quarters as a whole. Collectors who focus on the complete Washington quarter series are always on the lookout for pieces from transitional years, such as 1966. This year represents both a shift in minting practices and the tail end of silver usage in US coins. It's important to note that the value of this coin can also vary depending on the auction market and the particular interests of bidders at any given time. While many collectors focus on coins in uncirculated or high-quality condition, the 1966 Washington Quarter large date still enjoys interest from a wide range of coin collectors, particularly those who are interested in varieties or error coins. Next up, the 1983 silver Washington Quarter dollar is part of a modern series that continues to capture the attention of both casual collectors and numismatists. By the time the 1983 quarter was minted, the US had long moved away from using silver in its general circulation coins. The United States Mint transitioned to copper-nickel clad compositions in 1965, and by 1983, the silver content in most circulating coins had been completely phased out. However, the 1983 Washington Quarter is still of considerable interest for several reasons, including the error mint mark associated with it. During this period, the mint had a fairly consistent production process, but issues with minting practices and quality control occasionally led to errors, which are highly valued by collectors. The P error mint mark on the 1983 Washington Quarter is one of those such issues that has become a cornerstone for collectors of modern US coins. For many years, the US Mint did not include a mint mark on quarters produced in Philadelphia, but in 1983, some quarters were mistakenly stamped with a P mint mark, which caused quite a stir among numismatists and coin collectors. And so, this error has made the 1983 silver Washington Quarter with the P mint mark one of the most sought-after coins in the modern era, with collectors eager to obtain a piece of this unique historical mistake. The coin represents both a significant error in minting practices and a valuable asset for those seeking to complete their collection. The design of the 1983 Washington Quarter remains largely the same as that of earlier issues. The obverse, created by John Flanagan in 1932, depicts George Washington in profile. Washington's likeness remains a symbol of honor and patriotism, one of the most recognizable and beloved images on US coinage. What makes the 1983 Washington Quarter distinctive is the appearance of the P mint mark, which was typically not seen on quarters produced at the Philadelphia Mint until later years. Collectors often find the P mint mark error intriguing, as it represents an anomaly in US coinage production. The total mintage of the 1983 Washington Quarter was significant, but it wasn't unusual by US coin production standards. What makes this coin exceptional is the error in the minting process. Most of the 1983 quarters produced in Philadelphia did not carry a mint mark, as was typical for coins produced at that mint during this time. However, a small number of these quarters were struck with the P mint mark, an oversight that created a valuable error coin. This error has become the focus of intense collector interest, with many coin enthusiasts hunting down the 1983 P mint mark quarters to add them to their collections. The error mint mark is an essential aspect of this coin's value. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint typically do not have a mint mark, as the mint had no tradition of placing one on coins produced there during this period. This led to the era of adding the P mint mark, making these coins highly sought after by collectors who specialize in mint mark errors. In fine condition, these coins are worth significantly more than their face value. The 1983 P Washington Quarter error coin can be valued anywhere between $93,200 depending on its overall condition and demand from collectors at any given time. If you find one of these error coins in good condition, it can fetch a premium in the auction market. As with many error coins, the 1983 P Washington Quarter has garnered a significant following among coin collectors. Errors like the P mint mark issue are often considered rare treasures that can command high prices. These coins represent not just an anomaly in the minting process, but also an opportunity for collectors to own a piece of US coin history. Collectors interested in modern coins are drawn to these errors because they offer a connection to a time when the minting process was evolving and the possibility for mistakes was ever present. These error coins hold a place in the broader context of coin collecting as they highlight the imperfections in what is often seen as a highly polished and regulated process. For collectors focusing on error coins, the 1983 P mint mark Washington quarter holds significant appeal. It's a modern coin that's easy to find, yet its error status adds an element of rarity and intrigue that increases its market value, particularly in fine condition. Next up, the 1991 silver Washington quarter dollar with a D mint mark in circulating condition is a fascinating coin. And while many collectors are familiar with the regular Washington quarters, this particular version stands out due to several factors. It is important to first understand the context behind this coin, how it fits into the larger narrative of US minting history, and why it holds such tremendous market value. The Washington quarter dollar is one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. The design was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse features a left-facing profile of the first U.S. president, George Washington, while the reverse shows an eagle perched on an olive branch, symbolizing peace and strength. This design was used until 1998, when it was replaced by state quarter designs. However, the 1991 quarter holds a special place due to its mintage numbers and unique features. The United States Mint produced more than 1 billion quarters in 1991 across its various minting facilities. Of those, the ones produced at the Denver Mint were stamped with the D mint mark, indicating they were struck in Denver, Colorado. But here's where things take an interesting turn. The 1991 Washington quarter with the D mint mark is often found in a circulated condition, but there is an intriguing anomaly. Certain coins exhibit a red color on the reverse side. This color isn't something that is part of the minting process, but instead is a result of oxidation and environmental exposure over time. Coins that were exposed to specific conditions, such as certain chemicals or a particular environment, can develop this red tint, which is highly sought after by some collectors. The color is a form of alteration that isn't typically seen on most coins, making this coin even rarer. While the coin might not be considered an error by the mint, this red coloration adds an extra layer of intrigue and collector interest, which can significantly increase its value at auction. These pieces are known for their dramatic visual appeal, making them highly desirable in the market. The design of the 1991 silver Washington quarter dollar is a continuation of the classic Washington quarter series, which showcases the great American leader George Washington on the obverse. The coin's reverse side features a rendition of an eagle, a symbol of national pride and power. The reverse side of the 1991 quarter is what makes this specific issue unique. When combined with the red discoloration, the eagle on the reverse is rendered in intricate detail, and its wings spread over an olive branch, symbolizing peace, while the ribbon below reads E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. The coin's design itself remains an iconic symbol of American resilience and unity. The mint mark D is located just beneath the eagle on the reverse side, marking it as one of the coins struck at the Denver Mint. This mint mark, while common, becomes a crucial identifier in the marketplace when collectors search for specific coins from certain minting facilities. The 1991 Washington quarter dollar with a D mint mark, particularly in circulated condition with the red coloration on the reverse, holds notable value in the market today. In most cases, quarters from 1991 are generally not valuable due to their high mintage numbers and standard circulation. However, when a coin displays this unique alteration, such as the red color on the reverse, it dramatically changes the game for collectors. Coins that have been altered by environmental factors, resulting in this eye-catching red tint, often fetch higher prices at auction due to their rarity. In today's market, The value of a 1991 silver Washington quarter dollar in circulated condition can range significantly based on the severity of the red color. Coins with vibrant and distinct red coloration can fetch anywhere from $6,000 or more at auction, depending on their quality, condition, and the appeal of the red tint. Additionally, because the 1991 quarter is relatively modern, it can be considered a young coin in the context of numismatics, making it an intriguing option for both new and seasoned collectors. Its relatively low mintage compared to earlier Washington quarters gives it a potential for appreciation over time, especially when it's paired with unique features such as this red reverse. The unique red coloration on the reverse side of the 1991 Washington quarter has piqued the interest of collectors, particularly those who specialize in error coins and environmental anomalies. While this red tint isn't an official mint error, it is often categorized in a similar vein due to its rarity and unusual nature. Collectors who focus on altered coins, those with environmental damage, and those who seek out visually striking specimens often target this specific issue. The red coloration not only makes the coin stand out, but also adds an element of mystery and intrigue. Some collectors even consider these pieces to be more valuable than other standard 1991 quarters due to their rarity. Numismatic enthusiasts will often search through rolls of 1991 quarters or hunt for individual specimens that may exhibit this red color, hoping to find a coin that stands out in a similar way. Its appeal is undeniably linked to its unique appearance and its status as a rare anomaly in the world of modern coins. Next up, the 1967 silver Washington quarter dollar is another coin that holds significant value among collectors. What sets this particular coin apart from other Washington quarters is its large date variant and the fact that it was minted without a mint mark, making it particularly appealing to numismatists who specialize in unique or rare issues. In the 1960s, the United States was undergoing a period of significant change, and this was reflected in its coinage. The Washington quarter dollar had been in circulation for over 30 years, and during this era, the minting process was evolving, leading to some interesting variations in the way coins were produced. In 1965, the U.S. Mint removed silver from circulating coins due to the rising cost of the metal, and the Washington quarter was no exception. The 1967 quarters were struck using a copper-nickel-clad composition, but the design of the coin remained unchanged. The 1967 Washington quarter was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, only the Philadelphia Mint produced the quarters without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint quarters were marked with the D mint mark. This distinction between the two mints is important when it comes to determining the rarity and value of these coins. In total, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters in 1967, but the large date variety, in particular, is one that commands more attention from collectors. The large date feature refers to the size of the digits on the year. Some 1967 quarters were struck with a large date, making them distinct from the regular size date variety. This difference, though subtle, has been a key identifier for collectors when searching for rarer examples of this particular year. The design of the 1967 Washington quarter is almost identical to other quarters produced since 1932, featuring the portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by artist John Flanagan. The reverse of the coin features a bold eagle perched on an olive branch. This design, which remained unchanged for decades, was an iconic symbol of American strength, stability, and independence. The most noticeable feature of the 1967 quarter, especially the large date variety, is the boldness and prominence of the digits in the year. This makes it easily distinguishable from its smaller date counterpart, and collectors prize these varieties for their uniqueness. In the modern coin market, the value of a 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark in circulated condition can vary widely based on its condition and the presence of the large date variant. While standard 1967 quarters in circulated condition are generally worth only a few dollars, the large date variety significantly increases its appeal. Coins in excellent or uncirculated condition can command prices in the range of $30,000, depending on the grade. However, the most highly sought-after 1967 large-date quarters are those in superior grades, where the details of the design are sharp and clear. These examples can see their value rise to $46,000 or more in some auction settings, particularly when they are sold with a certification of authenticity and a high grade from one of the reputable numismatic grading agencies. The large date variety of the 1967 quarter is not a mint error, but rather a product of the minting process during that year. The different sizes of the digits were a result of changes made at the US Mint during the production process. While the large date version is relatively rare, it is the sharpness and condition of the coin that typically defines its market value. Collectors who specialize in Washington quarters, as well as those who focus on specific varieties and mintage anomalies, often seek out these large date quarters. The absence of the mint mark on Philadelphia minted quarters further adds to the appeal, as many collectors look for these coins as part of their broader set of Washington quarters from the 1960s. Collectors who focus on era coins, or those who are interested in assembling a complete set of Washington quarters, often seek these large date pieces as important components of their collection. Next up, the 1995 Silver Washington Quarters is part of the larger series of Washington quarters that were first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington, the first President of the United States. This coin was struck as part of the broader ongoing efforts to commemorate significant moments in U.S. history through coinage. Washington quarters have been minted in various metals over the years, but the 1995 version, particularly with the D mint mark, remains a key collector's item, even in circulated condition. The mintage of the 1995 Silver Washington Quarter was significant, as it was part of the regular circulating coinage. However, what makes this coin particularly valuable in certain conditions, such as the version with a larger-than-usual mint mark, is its rarity in higher grades, especially in circulated condition. The United States Mint produced the quarter at several locations, including the Denver Mint, which marked this coin with a D mint mark. While many 1995 quarters were minted and remain in circulation, those with the large mint mark are much rarer than most other coins from the same year. This subtle error has sparked interest among collectors, especially those interested in mint mark variations and those seeking unique coins with design anomalies. The 1995 Silver Washington Quarter with the D mint mark, especially when it features the large mint mark error, is fetching impressive prices in the auction market today. While a regular 1995 quarter in circulated condition may only hold a modest value, a coin exhibiting the large mint mark error can be worth far more. Auctions have seen these coins reach values of several $100s depending on the specific condition, with prices even reaching into the thousands for coins that have been well preserved. It's important to note that the value of this coin is also influenced by factors such as the coin's overall quality, the preservation state, e.g. the amount of wear, scratches or discoloration, and the demand for mint mark variations in the collector market. For those looking to get their hands on one of these coins, a well-preserved example can offer a significant return on investment. Collector interest in the 1995 Silver Washington Quarter with the large D mint mark error is immense. Coin collectors, especially those who focus on US mint anomalies or mint mark variations, are always on the lookout for such rare finds. The appeal of this coin lies not just in its historical significance, but also in the fact that it represents an unusual production error that is increasingly difficult to find. Collectors who specialize in Washington quarters mint mark eras, or coins from the 1990s, see great potential in acquiring this piece, especially if it's in higher grades. The Washington Quarter series remains highly regarded in the numismatic community, and the era associated with this coin further elevates its desirability. Next up, the 1991 Silver Washington Quarter is another piece from the Washington Quarter series, and like its 1995 counterpart, it was struck as part of the regular circulation coinage. However, the 1991 coin holds particular significance for collectors due to its unique features. As with many other coins, slight variations and errors can make a world of difference in the market value, and the 1991 quarter is no exception. Its appeal lies in the specific condition it was found in, combined with its year of issue, which places it in a key era for the United States Mint. The year 1991 was notable because it marked a time when coin production was still primarily focused on circulating coinage. However, the growing interest in error coins and the increasing awareness of subtle changes in minting techniques led to heightened collector interest in coins from this period. The design of the 1991 Washington Quarter is the same as other issues in the series. On the obverse, the same portrait of George Washington remains, symbolizing strength and leadership. The reverse side also follows the traditional motif of the eagle, representing the power of the nation. In the case of the 1991 Silver Washington Quarter, however, there are notable features that distinguish it from other coins of the same year. This particular coin, with the D mint mark, has experienced a rare color change and bears two noticeable scratch lines on its reverse side. These scratches, combined with the color change, create a unique error that captures the attention of collectors looking for unusual flaws in coins. The mintage of the 1991 Washington Quarter was substantial, as it was part of the regular production of quarters. While many 1991 quarters are still found in circulation, those exhibiting the specific era with color changes and scratches are incredibly rare. The mint mark D on this particular coin adds to its allure for collectors focused on variations between mint locations. The combination of the year of issue, the mint mark, the error on the reverse side, and the color changes make this coin highly sought after. Although it's not one of the lowest mintage coins, its uniqueness and the rarity of this era make it far more valuable than standard issues of the same year. In today's market, the value of a 1991 Silver Washington Quarter with the large date D mint mark, color change, and scratch errors has soared among collectors. Coins with such flaws tend to bring in higher bids at auctions due to the combination of rarity and interest in error coins. While an average 1991 quarter be worth much more than face value, one with these specific characteristics can be valued in the range of $1,000 to $10,000. The price fluctuates based on factors like the extent of the color change, the severity of the scratches, and the overall condition of the coin. Even in error condition, collectors are drawn to how these coins provide a snapshot of potential flaws in the minting process. Coins that are preserved or restored in higher grades are more likely to fetch higher prices at auction. The 1991 Silver Washington Quarter, with the mentioned error, has garnered considerable collector interest over the years. Error coins, especially those with visible flaws such as scratches or unusual color changes, have become increasingly desirable. Collectors who focus on rare and odd minting errors are often willing to pay a premium for coins like this, particularly because the 1991 quarter is part of the iconic Washington series. The fact that this coin has error markings and a change in color makes it a conversation piece among numismatists. It speaks to the fascinating world of minting processes, where even small mistakes can lead to valuable coins. As more collectors recognize the value of such coins, the demand for this 1991 Silver Washington Quarter continues to rise. Next up, the 1970 Silver Washington Quarter holds a special place in American coinage history. In 1965, the U.S. government made a significant change to the composition of its coinage, due to a national shortage of silver. The Washington quarter, which had previously been struck with 90% silver, was altered to a copper-nickel composition, and the transition to a clad quarter was made. However, 1970 marked a year of exceptions. By 1970, a small batch of quarters with silver content remained in circulation, most of which were produced at the Denver Mint. The minting of these quarters was an anomaly, since the majority of quarters struck in the years following 1964 were made of the clad composition. This historical nuance has contributed to the rarity and value of the 1970 silver quarters, especially those with the coveted D mint mark. The year 1970 is also significant in the history of US coins because it was the final year of production for silver quarters, marking the end of an era. Coin collectors from around the world are eager to get their hands on silver Washington quarters from this time, which is why the 1970 coins, particularly the silver variety, have become so sought after in recent years. The reverse of the coin features an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with the words United States of America at the top, and E pluribus unum beneath the eagle. The words quarter dollar appear at the bottom of the reverse side. One unique feature of the 1970 coin is its large date, distinguishing it from other Washington quarters produced in the same era. The large date was a deliberate design choice, and it stands out when compared to the smaller date varieties of earlier years. Collectors often find these types of distinctions fascinating because of the intricate ways the US Mint produces variations in coin designs. The mintage of the 1970 silver Washington quarter is an important factor in its high value. The total mintage of this coin is estimated to be around 3.7 million, which, although not exceedingly low, contributes to its rarity when compared to other Washington quarters from different years. The silver content, combined with the limited number of coins produced with that content, has led to an increase in demand and market value over time. In terms of market value, the 1970 silver Washington quarter with the D mint mark, especially in circulated fine condition, is currently worth a significant amount. In today's auction market, you could expect to see prices ranging from $66,000 for coins in fine condition, depending on their specific characteristics. If a coin is in higher grade conditions, such as extra fine or mint state, its value can increase substantially, reaching upwards of $82,000, depending on demand. The rising market demand for silver coins, coupled with the historical significance and collector interest in the 1970 quarter, has made it one of the most sought-after coins in recent years. The coin's price also fluctuates depending on the prevailing silver market, making it an excellent investment for those interested in both collecting and the value of precious metals. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1970 silver Washington quarter with the D mint mark is the potential for error coins. Errors such as misprints, double strikes, or improper minting can significantly increase the value of a coin. While the 1970 Washington quarter isn't known for a wide variety of errors, there are still examples of coins with striking variations that are highly collectible. Collectors are particularly interested in the larger die cracks, slight overdates, and even some of the more minor blemishes, which can make a coin stand out in the market. These types of errors are desirable for collectors looking to complete a specific set or find a rare variation of a coin. The 1970 Washington quarter is part of a broader trend of collectors searching for silver coins with unique features. Many collectors of US coinage see this quarter as a piece of history, not just a coin with intrinsic value, but also one that represents a transitional period in US coin production. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.